Happy Saturday. I don't know. There's so much more we don't know as humans than what we know. So the idea that someone, that I, as a, 15, 20 something, thought I knew everything is complete delusional nonsense, egotism, narcissism. And as I've gotten older, I've learned more and more that I don't know. And I'm more and more comfortable with it. And the uncertainty can be excitement versus the old narrative of clinging to the fear of uncertainty. It's all going to work out some way. Doesn't mean it's going to work out the way I think it should, or want it to, or desire it to, or expect it to. It's going to work out some way. How are we spending the times between the moments? You rushing through it? Because those are choices. Don't want to be present for it. Expecting something different. Through this time, part of me wants all of the emotions to arrive at a certain hour, be finished with it, put it on the shelf, and be done. Been proven to me time and time again that that's not going to happen. My feelings are going to get in touch with me. My emotions are going to get in touch with me when I'm ready. Or when I'm ready. And I don't get to decide all of that. Maybe my subconscious does. I'm open to it. But then there's that subconscious maybe holding on, or, I have an expectation when it should arrive. An expectation of how I should feel. People have expectations of how I should feel. And I'm all of it and none of it. Supported through it. Loved. And there's always an outlier that I haven't connected with, that you haven't, that we haven't, that you're just, it is what it is. Death is part of life. Just is. So if you don't ever think about it, it may be scary when you're faced with it. I've had the opportunity and the challenge to deal with it a lot through my life. And it's given me the opportunity to prepare every moment for the next one. It's the same thing as carpe diem, not quite as dark. Seize the day, because you don't know when you're going to wake up the next one or the next moment. So if you're not seizing every moment, if you're not living each moment as if it's your last, when it is your last, you might have regrets. And I'm not perfect, and I have, second guessing and voices that tell me and conspire to have me cling to an old narrative and be afraid, and I deal with all that. But I have a routine to kind of help me combat it. I have a support system and people that in my life, and an open dialogue of communication with people to help check me. I hope you do. And if you don't, you can if you choose to. The illusion is you can't. It's the story you cling to. I'm alone. Alone is different than lonely. I can choose to be alone. Lonely is a feeling that I can combat with with the willingness to become vulnerable, to express how I feel with somebody. And then once that connection happens, I am less lonely. It doesn't mean that I still am not lonely in areas of my life that I crave for a connection, but I'm not blanket lonely, enveloped in loneliness and in a corner isolating. Those are choices. The gift, the present, you choose, the breath. The gift is your breath, is the present. How do you live it? So grateful for my mother's perspective at the way she handled her life. Didn't understand all of it. She was trapped in some of it, but still lived it the best she could without bitching and moaning all the time, without trying to deaden all the feelings. Very grateful for that. And I think about her all the time, like I think about my father all the time. Thought about him for the last 29 years, and I'm going to think about them both for the next however long I get to breathe. And they're with me, and I know that. Sometimes I feel it even more than others, and I get a chill, and I get the willies, and I feel it, and I get smiley, and sometimes I get teary, and I welcome all of it. Grateful. Peace. Much love, big light.